always pray that you give us eyes that see, ears that hear, and hearts that understand, so that we may be transformed and we may be healed. Thank you, faithful Father. Speak through your servant. Is coming. Proverbs 27 from 23 to 27. Yes. Okay. Everybody ready? All right, now settle down. Please try not to move anymore. Just settle down. Once you're seated, get out your notebooks and all that, or whatever it is you record or take your messages with, and let's go into the word. All right. Be thou diligent to know the state of thy flocks, and look well to thy herds. For riches are not forever, and doth the crown endure to every generation? In other words, positions don't pass from fathers to children. So just because your father was king doesn't mean you will be king. That's what that means. The crown does not endure to every generation. Okay? All right. So, then let's look at Luke chapter 14 from verse 25 to 33. Now it's interesting, this is really talking about discipleship, but the Lord gave it to me as an illustration for what I was going to pray. And it's interesting how the word is, how the word is, it has multi-applications. It has multiple applications, Jesus was here talking about discipleship. He was talking about the cost of discipleship. So let's read it. And there went great multitudes with him, and he turned and said unto them. So there were great multitudes following him, And you would think that when great multitudes follow you, what you want to do is you say what they want to hear, and then you say what will make them stay with you. That's what politicians do. So even if it's not what is good, they just say, look, the crowd wants it, so if I'm going to stay, if I'm going to abide, I've got to say what. But listen to Jesus. This is Jesus. So great multitudes are following him, and he turns and he says unto them, if any man come to me and hate not his father and mother and wife and children and brethren and sisters, yea, and his own life, he cannot be my disciple. My God, what a strong message. So to follow Jesus, I've got to hate everything else. You know that your wife will now say, which is this new religion that you are going to now that is telling you that you have to hate me? Your mother will probably say to you, you have now taken madness with your doctrine. That's, you've taken, you've added madness to your doctrine, And your brothers and sisters will say, that's how he does. Whenever he follows something, his head always spins. Everybody, your friends, then he talks about even your own life. So you will now sit and say, this Jesus. That means I have to hate my own life. And whosoever doth not bear his cross and come after me. So there's a cross to bear. Help me preach to your neighbor. Say, neighbor, there's a cross to bear. God's in the business of making millionaires. Hallelujah. Follow Jesus, you get everything. It's a lie. That is a lie. There's a cross to bear. There's a burden to carry. He said, take my yoke upon you and bear my burden. I will take your burden, but you must bear mine. It's not a burden-free life. It's not a yoke-free life. It's just that the yoke of Jesus is lighter than the yoke you've been carrying. So that's the beauty of it. He's saying exchange the weighty one for the light one. But don't imagine that you are not going to carry any yoke. For which of you, now watch this, this is where I was going. For which of you, intending to build a tower, sitteth not down first? Somebody say first. And counteth the cost, whether he have sufficient to finish it. Verse 29. Lest haply after he hath laid the foundation and is not able to finish it, all that behold it begin to mock him. Verse 30. Verse 30. Go on. Saying, this man began to build and was not able to finish. Keep going until we get to 33. Keep going. Or what king going to make war against another king sitteth not down first? Somebody say first. Yes. And consulteth whether he be able with 10,000, whether he be able with 10,000 to meet him that cometh against him with 20,000. Or else, while the other is yet a great way off, he sendeth an ambassage and desireth conditions of peace. So likewise, in the same way, whosoever he be of you, pastor, bishop, forsaketh not all that he hath, he cannot be my disciple. But where I was going with that was, what excited me was where it talks about you want to sit down first and count the cost. Or you want to go to war, you sit down and count the cost.